concerned what we think of you, but they rarely do. Can't please everyone in a shuffle of scenes. Convince us quickly, I am processing.
So I guess I'm going to give a little bit more of a backstory of the EP called Magic and Accidents. The title came from the idea of this major gap between kind of what we think is idealism and miracles and goodness and believing that life is good, like a fairy tale. Something can happen that changes our lives. Or there's reality, the negative reality, the grim reality. It's like a rat race. And I had images of a shattered phone and car wrecks, things that are setbacks. And basically the difficulty it is, if things have not gone well for a long time, how hard it is to kind of believe that life can get better again. And kind of fighting to not let the reality overtake us and beat us down into dank submission. The first track on Magic and Accidents is called Not Having a Blast. And that song was written a little while back, and the lyrics were initially put to one of my brother's songs, which was more of an upbeat, kind of jazzy Broadway sounding song. But I thought that these lyrics might fit a darker vibe. So Not Having a Blast was written when I got out of the hustle and bustle of school and kind of was very over the kind of pressure to be a high performance machine in terms of getting tasks done and being productive and efficient and all that. And also in terms of the pressure to be clever and quick-witted and funny, and which was kind of the norm in the environment that I was in. So that's all great to reach your potential and in humor. But when it squashes and strangles your emotional health and your soul and your ability to be sad and experience a wide array of emotions, then I'm going to opt out of that one. The second song is called America Anonymous. America Anonymous was kind of the struggle in fighting out of a wide variety of bad habits. Bad habits of escaping how I really feel with distractions and addictions, any kind of crutch. And the problem with avoiding ourselves like that is that it doesn't fix anything. We kind of have a negative emotion and then we escape into something and it just kind of makes us forget about it and we go numb. And then we become apathetic about our lives. So there's no proactive approach to life. Maybe you could call it hedonism, that way of living. But yeah, it doesn't work to me. The next song on the EP is called In the Woods. And you could call that song just Existential Crisis number 85. We got to get lost again and again and again to be found again. When I say be found again, I mean rediscover and remember again what matters to us. Because society and jobs and work and school do a great job. Their job is to take us away from what matters to us, because everything has its own agenda. To live a more fulfilled life, we gotta kind of take a break from everything and kind of let our minds run free and make bigger connections and kind of relearn about ourselves, who we are, what matters to us, because we will forget. Most people do. The next song on Magic and Accidents is called Secret Weapon. And this is probably the hardest song for me to wrap my head around in explaining what it means. Secret Weapon was kind of written in a state of shock. Like I felt like I had lost my dream and that I was responsible for it. And that's a really painful place, because when we hold on to something and it's such a big part of us for such a long time, and when we feel like we're losing that part of us, it's like a rebirth. and rebirth is painful. It's like a death of ourselves. And the secret weapon is open to interpretation, what exactly a secret weapon is. But you could say that it's some kind of coping mechanism during your lowest times. And for me, in this case, it was kind of like a fantasy self. We have an idea of this possibility of what we could be, that we could be great. Maybe it's not totally based in reality, but it's one of the healthier ways to get through the hardest times. The next song on Magic and Accidents is called Body Works. And Body Works was kind of like written as an afterthought or like a post experience of America Anonymous. After I stopped escaping how I really feel, kind of pushing my feelings down, then what am I going to do with all this energy that's just going to be really erratic and kind of just shoot in 1,000 different directions? I want to tap into it. I don't want to run from it anymore. It's like a lot of energy that feels a little unstable. How can I direct it in an intelligent way, in the way that's aligned with, my vision of how I want my life to be? It's like expressing our energy with a little more emotional intelligence, a little more delicacy. And the last song on Magic and Accidents is called Boy Who Blocked the Sun. And Boy Who Blocked the Sun is kind of written in a state of depression, but the focus is, facing ourselves in a state of low and the things that come up when we feel low. Shame, self-hate. And in particular, this Boy Who Blocked the Sun song was kind of focused on this gigantic, really huge fear of being kind of defective in some way that's gonna prevent me from doing okay in life because something's wrong with me fundamentally. And it's so vague, which is kind of comforting a little bit because it shows us that our emotions might be getting the best of us and it's kind of clouding us. Maybe the reality of how damaged we are from self-hating and repressing ourselves for a long time, it might be real, but it's still a productive step to kind of face who we really are and listen to ourselves and truly listen to ourselves and be there for ourselves, because a lot of the times we're all we've got.
My mind, if too fast my mind will race. I'm gonna track realities of the girl who